Glad to be back on this game once again, but except now we are doing a second playthrough on Festival Mode, which means that we're able to have the double of the fun. Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I am Duffy Duck here, and I'm Piglet here. We are back for some more of yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more of Let's Play of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games for the Nintendo Wii. So, last time we have managed to able to gone through the conclusion of the Singles Festival mode, and during day 16 if I recall, that we did manage to beat Dry Bowser, and after that though we become a #1 championship on that specific closing ceremony. And today we're about to begin the festival mode once again, except now we're going to be getting on to the forms of the second playthrough, which appears to be the team festival mode. And we forgot to mention about something, is the fact that once you beat the main game, that although we'll talk more on that later though, specifically until next Monday potentially. So either way, let's just dive right into the forms of Winter Games mode, and then hopefully we might as well do some more festival stuff. So either way, but then again, as we mentioned earlier, that we pretty much gone through the singles mode, and now we're going to be focusing on the team version, which, to be honest with you, it plays almost exactly the same thing as of how it does it on the singles version, except, well, you can able to have a choice between 1 player to 4 players potentially. So either way, unfortunately though, we haven't got 4 Wii remotes at the moment, so it's just ourselves, but hopefully we can able to commentate to each other. So either way, let us begin with Team Festival here, and we're going to be talking over this because obviously, if you couldn't tell already, it shares the exact same CGI cutscene as before, and I believe whenever we get to the closing ceremony too, that it also shares the exact same cutscene as before, but you know, it plays exactly the same scenes, so still looks very impressive even to this day, even especially likely until a decade ago when this game came out. That oh man, the visuals looks amazing right here. Yeah, compared to the future games though, like Sochi 2014 all the way up to recently in Tokyo 2020, it might as well able to stuck with in-game graphics and stuff like that, which it doesn't even compare to the forms of CGI any day. So, as far as character roster choice, we can only pick 4 of those characters in one team. However though, this time around we're going to be selecting Mario, and to top it off, let's go ahead and select Luigi, and let's go ahead and select Wario, and finally, Yoshi. I was expecting to be able to select Waluigi for this raid, but to be honest with you, since we've already technically selected not only the Sonic character from the Singles Festival, but also we did manage to select the skill type character. So either way, at this point in time, we've only going to be selecting 2 all-around type characters, which there are Mario and Luigi, and power type we got is Wario, and finally the speed type for Yoshi. So either way, as far as the actual, if you'd already set up your team for your 4 characters into one team, you can actually have a choice between either its recommendable team name, or you can able to customize it, such as like, if you couldn't tell already, we're actually going to be going for Super Mario Team Super Mario 64 DS, because obviously it is actually based off from one of those playable characters in obviously in Super Mario 64 DS. However though, unfortunately though, we can't able to actually fill up the entire name box or something, so either way, we'll call it Team Mario 64 DS, as far as I like to say for this matter, because obviously it just makes it a little bit obvious for that point, because I just seem to remember, despite the fact that we no longer have the original Let's Play of the game anymore, that back then we did manage to select Sonic, Shadow, Silver, and Knuckles, and we actually called the team Team Sonic Rivals. But now, in the actual redo Let's Play of this particular Let's Play itself, we're actually going to be going for Team Mario 64, because we'll feel like we can able to do that. So, since we've already set things considered, and that concludes day 1, and now we jump right into day 2, where just like before, we actually have ourselves the trading sessions, which there are alpine skiing downhill, and also we come across into a brand new event that we have not come across since the singles festival mode. Because of this though, it's all around based off from team aspect, so either way, unlike any forms of the singles version of that specific festival mode, that the only event we only come across into that specific location, it was actually Skeleton, because, you know, one person can do the job. But here, in Team Festival mode, 4 players can only participate for the bobsledge. So either way, because, you know, kind of like how it did on the Sochi 2014 counterpart of that specific event, except the noticeable difference is that we don't use the Wii U gamepad or anything, so... Anyways, let's talk over about this event. Basically, it plays exactly like how it did on Skeleton, except the noticeable difference is that it's pretty obvious we have 4 people onto that bobsled. However though, there's one little thing about noticing this for this point, Debbie, is the fact that in the DS version of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games is that rather than just having like 4 players in one bobsled, instead it was actually 2 people in the bobsled, probably because of the limitations of the handheld or anything like that, so... But unfortunately though, no comment on the 3DS or anything like that, because, you know, Sochi 2014 doesn't have, you know, the 3DS counterpart. Only the Wii U does have it though, so... Yeah, I think it's totally obvious for this point, Effie, but either way though, let's just go ahead and do the entire objective, as you can see right there, when here, we need to just collect 20 coins, and that's pretty much all there is to know. You know, kind of like the same thing for how we usually done since the forms of Skeleton. However though, the only catch is about this though is the fact that you have to do like some sort of like a steady turn until you're able to actually get a short burst of speed if you're trying to keep your yellow arrow thing at all times, so that way you can able to get a lot of speed and momentum going. So, but yeah, that's as far as we can say about Bobsledge. So, yeah, it plays out exactly like Skeleton, except, you know, just co-op aspect. Alright, something's worth mentioning though is the fact that, yeah, this game does have Wii balance board support, which I'm probably not gonna show this off because obviously we don't have the Wii balance board upstairs because, well, it might be pretty unpleasant to play on upstairs department with the Wii balance boards, in my opinion, because otherwise though, if you keep jumping around or even keep on like just trying to jump basically, that you would able to actually break the ceiling if you not knowing what you're doing. Especially noticeable just like Xbox 360 Connect back in the day since 2010. But anyways, let's move on to another training session here, which we have Alpine Skiing Downhill. Well, generally speaking, we've already come across into this before, ever since during the forms of the singles festival mode, but the biggest difference is now is the fact that it's all team-based. However though, we're going to skip this controls part right there, because we've already known this basically ever since in the singles version, so... And the entire objective is pretty much the same as before, so even then once again we need to bypass 10 gates in total. So either way, but in order to actually get a great rating is the fact that you have to get all 20 of those gates bypassed. So that's how it is basically with this event. Basically, it feels pretty much identical to the likes of how it does in a singles counterpart. So yeah, that's far from the case regrettably. So a few things we want to explain about this actually before we're able to move on, some discussions to make. The fact of the matter is though, is the fact that recently today is the forms of the 17th of January today in 2020. So this means the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot RPG game has been recently released today for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and that's pretty much it. So we don't know of how the reviews is actually going to turn out to be on that specific game, but then again, we'll mention more on that until whenever we get back onto this on Monday. So, because you know, tomorrow that Mickey Mouse will able to go back onto Super Mario Kart basically, just to deal with the continuation on 100cc basically, according to what he was about to be doing right now. Yeah, seems probably true, Defi. That's probably true. So day 2 has been completed, and now let's move on to day 3, where we have another training session, which we have short track 1000 meters, which we technically already come across into that ever since before, but to top it off, we have a new dream event that we not come across into, that appears to be Dream Bobsledge. So, relatively speaking, we are doing Bobsledge twice. well, technically once in the Olympic event, and another as in the Dream event. So, but then again, we're not going to come across into that once we go for the training session first, which is potentially short track 1000 meters, which, nothing different about it, potentially. Well, the noticeable difference is the fact that we are doing team-based kind of thing, as you probably can clearly tell. However, though, I don't think we can able to come across in this event for reals, though, because, well, the only way you can able to get the gold medal in this event is by going through the singles festival mode, basically. So yeah, look at that. The whole cast of Super Mario 64 DS playable characters. Yep, seems true for me. So we just have to once again skip over this little sequence here, because, you know, it plays exactly like how it did from before. And now we need to do the exact same objective once again, except now we have more coins to collect, which, I could assure to you that previously that we need to collect about, I would say 18 of those coins, but now we need to collect about 24, although I may be wrong, but either way though, since we haven't exactly looked back onto the faults of the previous parts for our Let's Play of this so far. However though, it makes things a lot easier this time around, because now the actual computer players are about to be essentially trying to grab these coins for you, so basically it just makes things a lot more easier than the forms of how it does it on the singles counterpart. Yeah, because, you know, computer players automatically gets their coins while you're simply doing a lot of work, so kudos to them. So now let's jump right into a brand new Dream event we have not come across, as I mentioned this earlier, is Dream Bobsled, which, I wonder how this good takes place, I wonder. It takes place in Nakatrura's Gate from Sonic Chronicles The Dark Brotherhood for the Nintendo DS. Oh god, the one where it has like an awful soundtrack. Oh god, it just makes my ears hurt. I mean, good lord, why were they messing up the actual, the Green Hills soundtrack, as well as the Diamond Dust Zone theme, but, ugh. Anyway, so let's just, get this thing to it. Although, don't get me wrong, Sonic Chronicles The Dark Brotherhood was actually an okay game at best, but, however though, it's not the best RPG game I've ever played, because, you know, as we mentioned earlier, the soundtrack has been screwed up, and also the graphics do look like look twice as bad as the Pakistan McDonald's commercial. Like, oh my god, why have they done something wrong? But anyways, as you can see right there, in addition with Team Mario 64 DS characters has been shown up, we also got ourselves Dr. Eggman, Sonic, and Shadow, which they are all Sonic characters. So, seems interesting enough. Because of that though, we'll come across into that on that particular results screen when we get to later on, so... But anyways, what in the world? We're transported to the special stages from Sonic Heroes. Yeah, by the looks of all that stuff, and also same applies for Sonic Generations for the 3DS version as well. Oh yeah, because of the actual aesthetics, that we're going for this little half-pipe and stuff like that. While you're doing so already is the fact that, just like in Sonic Heroes and Sonic Generations on the 3DS, you're going to be collecting multicolored balls before you can continuously speed things up a little bit. So yeah, I think that's the whole entire purpose of this event, is the fact that you have to collect the insane amount of colored balls before you're able to claim yourselves a gold. So, but here's the thing though, is the fact that you must avoid a lot of hazards around in these special stages, like, we come across into those little mine bombs potentially, which, if you somehow get hit by most of these hazards, sorry for a little bit of attentions right there, if you get hit one of those hazards, as you can see right there, I believe you'll lose a half, portion of your multicolored ball, so you have to be very careful, especially noticeable, like, almost like that happens right there, because, again, if we go screwed over for that specific, hit point right there, we probably guaranteed to slow down, so... But nevertheless, though, I think it's actually pretty fun. Oh, yes! We got Starman! Which means that how the fact that we can able to get nicer speed going. Oh my lord, we almost at 300 km miles per hour. Oh wow, that is pure fast. And to top it off as well, that we actually got ourselves a glorious new record. The first new record for Team Festival. So, you know, just like how we did in Dream Alpine in the singles version. So, The only thing is kind of a little bit dragged out in the forms of singles, no, the Team Festival mode I should say, is the fact that there's going to be a lot of loading screens popping up from time to time. I think it's pretty obvious for this point, Defi, because obviously they want to load any single character's attempts or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong, but either way, they'll let me know in the comments below. Although, because of the copper system, it's like, well, we're not gonna like talk about it right now, but I digress. So we got the first place medal after all, so this might be the first one for this specific run through. No, we're not gonna take a break, thank you, because we haven't gone to the Waggle thing for the time being. Well, unless if you want to go for those training sessions after all. So to get an emblem on this event is the fact that we need to collect 100 or more of those colored balls, and then that way you can able to guarantee to get an emblem. But if you get lower than 100 though, then you're probably not gonna get it, and the medal as well. So just keep that in mind. And okay, looks like we have ourselves the first rival for this playthrough, and that appears to be returning back onto Alpine skiing downhill, despite the fact that we've already done it before. Hehehe. I saw that Alpine downhill event of yours yesterday. Looks like you need to take a lesson in speed from me. And that lesson starts today. I challenge you to an Alpine downhill match. Hehehe. Even though relatively speaking though, is the fact that this will be the only time and the final time we're going to be seeing King Boo in this game. Yeah, because the reason why you say that, because this will be the only time that we can able to face off against with King Boo on specifically the Team Festival mode. Because aside from everything else though, I don't think it doesn't have that much changes around here for that specific matter. Well, apart from the fact that, well, you noticed that how Luigi, Wario, and Yoshi was about to be originally trying to participating on this event, but it turns out it was just all by yourself, because, you know, there's no team involved or anything like that. And I think, relatively speaking, this will be the only time that we're only gonna go for Alpine downhill, basically, because after this, then we are basically done with that specific event for reals. So yeah, because of that though, it's going to be most likely focusing on team as opposed to individuals for this point right now. So yeah, relatively speaking, this event plays out exactly like how it sounds. So basically we'll have to do this for, I would say, the final time we're going to be doing this event potentially. And then once we've done that already, then, well, we can able to move on to a different amount of events, or some of those similar events but with a different condition. Which either way though, we'll point it out until whenever we get to day 4. On Team Festival mode, but for now, we'll just go ahead and, dang it, my Wii Remote didn't turn well enough. But regardless of that, kinds of stuff like this, Piglet, is the fact that we still got the special move in our hands, so hopefully we might as well use that at some point towards the very end. Although it's kind of redundant to able to do that specific strategy, as you can see right there. Although, kind of thinking about it though, you might still will do it. In fact, King Boo is actually far behind right now. Mind you, because this is the first rival of that specific game so far. It doesn't matter if it's on singles or Team Festival mode, so I'm pretty sure it's pretty much exactly the same as, you know, between the two modes. In fact, King Boo is always at day 3, but whenever we get to later days, it gets a little bit different until day 15, and especially noticeable with day 16, because otherwise though, they have the exact same amount of rival battles in between, but there's also an exclusive rival that's only been playable in a Team Festival mode, but we're not gonna get ahead of ourselves for this point just yet, because, you know, we've mainly get started with the Team Festival mode, basically, so yeah, that pretty much takes care of day number 3, so yeah, it's pretty short though, but then again though, it all really depending on the forms of how the fact that if we got enough time for specific uploading schedules in mind. So yeah, once again, Cream or Toad will tell us the actual results, as you can see. So we got none of those Olympic medals so far, and we've only got one first place medal in the Dream event, and the amount of points we got in total is 25. And speaking of which, we got ourselves the whole roster of teammates, which we got Team Sonic consists of Silver the Hedgehog, and I believe Daisy, and also, I can't really see because the text box is in my way. With Daisy and Metal Sonic and Team Dr. Eggman, we have, well, we're probably not going to discuss all that right now because we're just a little bit too late for discussing all that right now because the text box is in my way, so do apologize for that, folks. I do apologize for that. But anyways, let's hit on to day 4, which we have another dream event, which we've already come across into one before, except with a different condition we need to do for this point now. And also, some sort of the identical event as in the forms of individual version, except now we have Team Large Hill, which is basically a team version of ski jumping. So either way, because basically in this event, we have to able to have 4 competitors in that specific singular jump. However though, unlike in individual Large Hill though, is the fact that you only have like 2 tries to able to actually get the result. But in here, you only get like, I would say specifically 1 go each per team. So yeah, basically in this entire objective, as you can see, that we need to reach onto that P point with every single character. So yeah, let's get to it. And also the music is a little bit different than before, so either way, because it goes like do 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 or anything like that in individual version. But in the team version, on the other hand, though, Daffy, it gets like some sort of like an upbeated version of that specific tune. But you know, you get the idea for that. So I suppose another thing I'd like to say about this here is the fact that, well, for those who lived in UK or United Kingdom to be more precise, happy 6th year anniversary of the release of Mario Party Island Tour for the 3DS. So, I can't even believe that particular game has been released for 6 years now. Well, technically it already did in the American version, so all it needs left now is of course the Japanese version, which it wasn't until when it gets to March. So, that seems a little bit more, 2 months away, but hey, at least that's something. Alright, so now it's Luigi's turn for this point right now, so let's just get moving. So yeah, talking of which actually is the fact that we've only got about a month left until the Sonic the Hedgehog the movie will about to be released, specifically the live action movie as far as I'm aware. I suppose that's actually kind of rough because if we could able to launch ourselves a little bit more better than ever, so whatever. I suppose we might as well able to get ourselves just only 2 points, mind you, Daffy. Just only 2 points. Oh well, whatever. Bigger cells can't be choosers, I suppose. It's not the end of the world or anything, so... Anyways, now let's move on to Wario's attempt here. So let's see how well he's going to be going through. So I believe that, you know, with that particular special moves between Mario and Luigi's, let's talk about Mario's special move quickly. That's actually based off from Super Mario Galaxy for that spin attack. And also in Luigi's special move, it almost feels like it inspires the side special attack from Super Smash Bros. Melee / Super Smash Bros. Brawl. That he always does like a green missile boost, which it kind of reminds me of Super Smash Bros. For some reason. So that seems pretty cool though. And as for Wario's special move right here, he does a fart, which either way though, I kind of expected about the fact that he was gonna do a some sort of like a fist or anything like that. I really don't know, but either way though, it's kind of gross, kind of thinking about it. And finally, we have Yoshi's attempt to jump, so let's see how well he's going to be going through in his entirety of the ski jumping. So potentially speaking, it's the fact that when it comes to like Super Smash Bros. In regard, that I really do apologize after the forms of yesterday, where it comes to likely when Tiana managed to get back onto herself onto Kirby's Return to Dreamland, basically, because she actually managed to get a little bit, tiny bit angry in the forms of yesterday's announcement. So I must admit though, for this point guys, I really do apologize for how she was acting like that. But regardless of anything else though, is the fact that she actually did manage to chill out for a bit and able to recently play through Rayman 3 recently on the GameCube, so that way she'll able to keep herself going, or even in this case, calm down for a little bit. So I must admit though, I think we should probably start apologizing to that DLC fighting has been just recently revealed, but we just want to point it out that, well, we're probably not gonna talk about it right now, because otherwise, though, you know, Tiana might go over that again. But I'm sure enough, though, that she'll able to apologize to that until when she gets back onto Kirby's Return to Dreamland, basically, so we'll let that happen. Yeah, especially how the fact that, well, at this point in time, we've only got 6 chances left for the DLC pack stuff for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate so far right now. Yeah, because after all, that, you know, the Fighters Pass 1 has been completed, but now we're moving on to DLC Pack 2, which we'll find out more about it until eventually if the Nintendo Direct will be announced, the full-fledged one, because it's been about, how many months exactly? I would say for about 4 or so months or something like that. I know we seem to be able to lost counts for that specific months worth mentioning for, because since in my Let's Play of Super Mario Galaxy 2, that I've most able to talk about the forms of September Directs last year, but we haven't got a full-fledged Direct since about 4 months potentially. Yeah, I think it's probably about 4 months since we haven't got into that specific stuff. Oh well though, we'll find out during later on throughout the majority of the month though, or especially noticeable in February though. Oh, I wonder what that does. Well, I guess I might as well find out whenever we land on that specific service, as you can tell. So anyways, we're now revisiting back onto the Forms of Dream Alpine once again, except now, let's see what this item can do. Oh, okay, that's pretty swell. I don't know what that the black hole itself will do. Although I might as well look it up and see how that item will affect me too. But for now on though, let's just go ahead and just perform all sorts of tricks here, rather than just doing that, because otherwise you get, you know, as you can see, Mario's got covered in snow every time he managed to fail his, you know, skiing or snowball tricks, whatever you want to prefer calling it. But either way though, let's just go ahead and just perform more tricks here and there, and, well, okay, we just managed to activate the barrier shield by accident, because we were expected to be able to use the super sneakers. Oh yeah, by the way, as you can see, we managed to bypass one of those star coins, as you can see right there. What that does is the fact that if one of the teammates of yours, or even especially noticeable for yourself, if any one of you in one of the teams grabs all of them, well, one in each character in one team, you actually get yourselves a Starman for freebie. So even then, it's a good way to able to actually just to bypass through, you know, all sorts of hazards like Badniks and stuff, or Eggman's, you know, egg ponds and stuff. But unfortunately for us though, we keep on missing one of them, so that's a little bit of a shame. But regardless of everything else though, that this event plays out exactly like how it did in the forms of the singles version, except a noticeable difference now is the fact that it's all team-based, and as a result, in order to actually claim the gold medal, is the fact that we need to make it to the end the fastest in between the actual team itself. Although, most of your teammates will get separated once in a while. So in order to actually claim your gold is the fact that you have to beat the fastest time in one team, because as a result, it doesn't matter if one of your teammates will screw up a little bit, but as soon as you're able to get yourselves the lowest time compared to the others, is that you would able to actually guarantee to do it just well enough. And I think, potentially speaking, this will be the last time we're going to be seeing Dream Alpine for a while, because even then, that's all we can able to say about this event. So I had a lot of fun with this this event, basically, so even then, glorious as it is. And I think that pretty much takes care of day 4, so no emblem for that, because we've already got the emblem to begin with, so there's no point for able to discuss on that again. So yeah, you probably get the suggestions for this point. And now we move on to day 5, which unfortunately we didn't get enough time with, so with that being said, we'll have to end things off here. So join us until next Monday for more of Let's Play of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games. It's the fact that we're going to be continuing things on in Team Festival mode while going through day 5 all the way up to day 7. So, see you guys on Monday. Later, fellas.